with our mighty team. Heroes we've become, living out the dream. Roll the dice, feel the thrill, monsters we will overthrow. Questing with friends in the RPG show.
Kobold Press is the latest game company to take the "we're not going to use AI" pledge. Should we trust them? Do we even care anymore? What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live from Site B about 8:40 in the morning on this 20th day of September 2024. It is cold and gloomy today. We just had a 1-point-something earthquake here, and I'm drinking coffee. How are you? We're talking about AI again today because when are we not talking about it? I think we need to add AI to the list of brand new tabletop role-playing game controversies. Some people don't understand why game companies are making the no AI pledge, or why supposedly the OSR is upset about the inevitable advance of AI. And the people who are using this as an excuse to go after the OSR, us old Luddites who don't understand technology, are very misinformed. Now, we have Kobold Press stepping up and following after Chris Cox openly admitted that Hasbro Wizards of the Coast is going to use AI and abuse it any way they can to create Dungeons and Dragons going forward. And we know everybody and their dog has crawled out of their woodwork, shaking their fist with anger that Wizards of the Coast has admitted that they're going to use AI and abuse the technology going forward. And we have me looking at each and every one of these individuals who's crawled out of the woodwork, claiming they're upset, going, why are you surprised? And I'm going to say it again to all these people who are suddenly getting on the "I'm angry at Wizards of the Coast for using technology" bandwagon. Have you not been paying attention? Where are you in the tabletop role-playing game community news that you are not aware that Wizards of the Coast said they were going to do this 5 years ago? And that individuals like myself have been telling you every day for the past 5 years that this is what Wizards of the Coast is planning on doing. So if anybody out there is still surprised about the AI overtaking of Wizards of the Coast, that's on you. I'm done feeling sorry. Kobold Press is not the first game company to take the "we're not going to use AI," and they're not going to be the last. But should we trust them? Because pretty much every other company, starting with Wizards of the Coast and moving through a whole bunch of other companies who claim they weren't going to use AI, have turned around and started using AI. And for the most part, the so-called Luddites and the OSR, the us old farts who don't know how to use an actual computer, are not as upset as some people would like us to be. So let's just clarify in regards to the AI and the inevitable advancements of computer technology and how they make life better or worse, or just something you have to accept. AI is a tool. It's an advancement in technology, like every other advancement in technology that has happened through the entertainment industry. You can embrace it, or you can rally against it and hope your store doors remain open. Now, I don't protest to be an expert in the gaming, right? We all know I refer to myself as an idiot, and we all know several individuals out in the tabletop role-playing community regularly refer to me as an idiot. And I'll be the first to admit, that when it comes to this gaming, despite, playing for 40 some odd years, I don't know everything. I'm never once going to tell you I have more experience than you, or I'm better than you, or I do a better job than you. The amount of people I've played with and the amount of games I've run doesn't matter a whole hill of beans. I don't know the first thing about the tabletop role-playing game hobby. No one does. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful that it's constantly evolving and changing, and the fact that I'm constantly surprised. And for every horrible, awful thing that happens in the tabletop role-playing game community, there is a bubble of joy where I read an article or talk to somebody that reminds me why this is wonderful. So the advancement of AI is just like any other tool, We had radio. And then radio was replaced with 8-track tape. And everybody said nothing will ever overcome 8-track tape until cassette came along. And then everybody was like, LFK tape, you can go the fuck to hell. I don't have it. And then we started using cassettes. And everybody said, oh, nothing will ever replace reel to reel until beta came along. And everybody said, fuck you, reel. We love beta. And the people who didn't love beta found themselves lost in the dust until VHS came along and beta was forgotten. And guys, beta was better than VHS. But technology advanced and everybody said, oh, nothing will ever take the place of VHS until DVD came along. We're not going to mention Laserdisc because it's too small of a population, but Laserdisc was better than VHS and actually it was better than DVD. And DVD came along and everybody tossed their VHS players aside and said, this is it. This is the best that technology is ever going to get, till Blu-ray came along. And everybody threw away their DVD players and got a Blu-ray player. And everybody was like, oh, well, nothing's ever going to top Blu-ray. This is as far as the technology is going to go, till streaming came along and YouTube came along. And everybody just threw away their DVD players and the Blu-ray players because they're like, well, I can just watch it on my computer now. I don't need a machine. And then AI came along and everybody's like, well, I'm throwing that away. What's next? On the other hand, a lot of that thrown away technology is becoming popular again. More and more people are going back to using VHS. More and more people are going back to using vinyl. VHS stores are starting to reappear. AI is just a tool. If you use the tool right, it's fine. If you abuse the tool, like any tool, that's a problem. We either have to accept that AI is a tool we're going to use and move forward and find a way to integrate real people and AI together in the best way possible, or we can, as so many people are accusing people like myself of, rally against it because we're Luddites and we don't like the advancement of technology and we think we know what's better than you guys. The fact that you allow a non-existent group of old men to influence every video that you guys make is surprising, but you need to be angry at the OSR. So I get it. I understand. You only exist because you need to be the dim light against the population of gaming. So let's just clarify that nobody's really upset about AI. I think most people have embraced it. Almost all of us are using AI art in some form. It's not that we don't want to support real artists. We do, but not all of us can afford to pay a real artist. And if you're like me, you don't have the money for a real artist or the talent. So I'm very lucky that I have two individuals that'll do art for me, but they both have real lives. And so doing the art for my product is very low on their list of priorities. To fill in the blanks, I have to use AI. I have no problem with using AI. Using AI and coming up with the right prompts is as intensive as it would be if I was actually drawing the picture. I mean, just to get the AI to draw hands correctly, it usually takes me about 20 minutes to an hour. So we're not upset that we're using, more and more people are using AI art. AI art will never replace a real artist. Okay. There will always be a place in the world for the sweat and blood and actual work of an artist. And those people will always find ways to be represented. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, I was in a coffee shop and on the wall, there was a framed painting that looked like a 2-year-old drew it. Squiggly lines and like a zero, round circle with a happy face in it. And it was $200. Because it had some frou-frou name like Deep Longing of My Soul or whatever. $200. And then when I went back in the coffee shop a few days later, it was gone. Somebody bought that piece of art. That wasn't AI. That was a hand-drawn piece of art for $200. So real artists, you don't need to worry. AI will never replace Vincent van Gogh. It's just a tool that we can use to make the job better, easier. Now, as for the AI writing content or the AI game master, again, I don't think an AI game master will ever replace a real life game master because real life game masters have that one thing that AI will never have. Whether you're the I'm more experienced than everybody else game master, or you're the I'm just starting out game master, you'll always be better than AI. Mind you, a lot of these I'm more experienced than everybody else game masters that I've played with actually suck, but that's a separate topic. And as for AI writing things, is that going to be better than somebody actually writing it? I think the movement seems to be going towards that more and more people are saying, no, I'd actually rather have handwritten than AI written. In fact, a lot of schools are saying that the kids have to start writing their stuff on paper again because they want to see the actual work as opposed to just knowing that the kid might have just downloaded an AI script and handed them the typed paper. So they want to see the handwriting, and they know that people can write it better. So again, we're not as angry about AI as some individuals would like us to be. We're weary. And this statement right here is one of the reasons why we're weary of the AI, especially with the Wizards of the Coast declaration. And it's because we know that when Wizards of the Coast said they weren't going to use AI, they had already lied. And they'd already been using AI all the way back to Tasha's. And even while they were claiming we're not going to use AI, we've never used AI, we're always going to be about real live people, they were lying. And that's what people are upset about. The same with every other company who said we weren't going to use AI and turned out they already had been using AI. And the second our backs were turned, they went forward, continuing to use AI. Kobold Press is saying we're not going to use AI. And most of us are looking at Kobold Press going, yeah, really? Because a lot of your competitors said the exact same thing, and then they turned around and used AI. At least Wizards of the Coast is finally being honest. Which is weird that they ever even said that they weren't going to use AI. Because in 2020, they said they were. We're going to do AI and blah, blah, blah. I've said this 1,000 times every fucking week for the past 5 years, and I'm going to continue to say it until you people realize Wizards of the Coast is doing what they said they were going to do. Oh, no, Wizards of the Coast did something they said they were going to do 5 years ago and repeatedly told you they're going to do. Oh, no, I think I'll die from not being surprised. I'm just going to drink some more coffee here. But Wizards then, for some reason, lied. And people believed that lie. Wizards said, that AI we used before, that was a mistake. I don't know how that happened. I guess the guy whose job it was to make sure that didn't happen was on vacation. Somehow, one piece of AI art accidentally snuck its way into our artwork, but it'll never happen again. But then we discovered there was actually a ton of AI artwork. And again, Wizards came out and said, I don't know how that happened. It was a mistake. Oops. I guess the person whose job it was to make sure that didn't happen was in the bathroom. And then it happened again. And people kept calling them out saying, but that's AI. And Wizards said, okay, fine. We're going to use AI going forward in a limited amount, guys. But just limited. And then again, there was just a whole bunch of AI, and people again were like, you just lied to us again. And rather than admitting they lied, Wizards played their usual song and dance of look over there and shuck and jive. And then Chris Cox came forward and said, you know what, we're going to use AI. And then he came forward again and reaffirmed that, yeah, we're going to use AI. And then he came forward a third time and reaffirmed, yes, we're going to use AI. We're going to use AI to create product. We're going to use AI to sell the product. We're going to use the AI to run our new virtual tabletop. We're going to use the AI to run D&D Beyond. We're going to use the DLC in-game purchase business model because that seems to work. No, it doesn't. It works short-term, but not long-term. And as for the AI art, yeah, you probably were going to use that too. I mean, we're not going to replace the real artists, but we're going to use the AI art to enhance. So Steven's going to draw me a picture, and then I'm going to put that picture to AI to make that picture look better. And if we need a conglomeration of every single solitary dragon we've ever drawn over the past 50 years, then that's something we can use the AI for. So now Wizards is openly admitting they're going to use AI, and people are upset. And I'm like, yeah, they said they were going to do that. But we have to also remember there was a short period of time where Wizards said they weren't. So that's what people are upset about, dude. They're not upset that gaming companies are using AI. I think most of us are just embracing that that's the next step of technology. And like, if you're like me and you've witnessed 100 other technologies that were supposed to replace the previous technology and then ended up not, how many people do you hear saying today, I wish I still miss my rotary phone. It's better than this thing in my hand. I miss DVD. It's the lie. The game companies like Wizards that came forward and said, we're not going to use AI, and then turned around and used AI. And Wizards is just the most well-known, but the other companies. So yeah, we're not rallying against the AI or the inevitable overlord or AI overlords taking over the world. I mean, look, if AI still can't get hands right or knees right, I'm really not worried about AI taking over the world or ruining the gaming community if you can't even draw a human hand. Why does this character have 7 fingers? What's wrong with his elbow? Knees don't bend that way. So don't put words in my mouth. Don't come out and saying, oh, the OGGM said he doesn't want AI. I'm all for AI. I use AI art in all my programs. I've never lied about it. What I am against in regards to Wizards and AI was that they lied. They blatantly lied to your face. They said they were going to use AI. Then they said, oh, we're not using AI. Then people found out actually they had been using AI all the way back in Tasha's. And then again, they came forward and lied. And then again, they got caught. And they came forward and lied again. And again, they got caught. And then they just came out and said, fuck it. We're using it. Shut up. Okay. We admit it. We're done. We're using it. You don't like it. Oh, well, where are you going to go? We're number one. And of course, that cost them more customers. And even with Chris Cox coming forward at the Goldman Sachs thing and talking about the AI overlords taking over Wizards and Hasbro, it was the way that he presented the news that makes people upset. First, again, you lied. You won't admit that you're lying. Instead, you're just like, oh, yeah, we're going to use it. But also is sort of that swarmy, snarky, condescending tone that Chris Cox had and Jeremy Crawford has that just makes anybody who watches them for more than 3 seconds go, ew, you're just such a jerk. You lied. You got caught lying, and rather than admitting it, you just spew out more stuff. And a bunch of other companies who have done the same thing have been caught using AI after they claimed they weren't going to use AI, which circles us all the way back to this, with Kobold Press coming forward saying we're not going to use AI. They haven't said, oh, we haven't used AI before today. They're just said, starting today, we're not going to use AI. All the other companies who've said the same thing turned out they were using AI and are using AI. So can we trust you, Kobold? The technology is advancing. It's out there. It's a tool. It's a tool that can be used to help create product, or it's a tool that can be abused to ruin the livelihood of other individuals. It's just how you use the tool. And 2 years from now, are we still going to be using the tool? Or are we going to toss it aside to replace it with the next big thing? VHS, DVD, DVD, Blu-ray, Blu-ray, streaming, VHS. Who knows? Who knows where the technology is going to be in 2 years? Who knows what lies Wizards of the Coast is going to tell you tomorrow? Who knows what angry old OSR person is going to come forward and rage against the inevitable advancements of technology because we're all Luddites stuck in the 19th century. And who else is going to come forward and spread lies to continue to try and ignite the anti-OSR fire. I mean, the OSR is perfectly capable of destroying itself. It doesn't need somebody else doing it for them. Find something else to do with your time. What do you feel about AIs, guys? Have you reached the point of overload and you're just like, I don't care anymore? I mean, we know I use AI. I admit I use AI. I wish I could draw. I wish I had enough money to pay artists or had artists who would work for me on a semi-regular basis. I'm very lucky that I do have the artists that will work for me, but I also understand that they have real lives, and creating art for my product is a very low on their priorities, which is perfectly fine. I wish I could draw. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? Acknowledging that AI is here and AI will continue to be used like any other tool in the entertainment industry has been used, and with the caveat that 2 years from now, it might be in the dumpster next to Betamax. What do you think? Are you okay with AI? Are you angry at AI? Do you no longer care because you're just accepted like every other thing that after 27 videos about it, you're just tired and want to move on? I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to make whatever decision you're going to make, and the words that are coming out of my mouth don't mean anything. You do what's best for you, right? But are you upset that Wizards of the Coast lied to us? Of course you are. Are you upset that the other companies that have used this and then turned out they were? Of course you are. Are you leery about the no AI pledge from Kobold Press because you know a whole bunch of other companies have done the same thing and turned out they lied and they're using AI? If you're going to use AI, just be open about it, guys. And I think it would be a lot easier to transgress from the one idiom to the next idiom. The paradigm has changed. We accept it. We move forward. It's a tool. It's a tool we can use correctly, or it's a tool we can abuse. And who knows where that tool is going to be 2 years from now, because where the fuck is VHS? Oh, it's coming back. I don't know. I feel like I'm just blabbing at this point, so I'm going to go. Have a great day. If you have anything else you want to talk about this topic, let me know. If you never want to hear me talk about this topic ever again, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, the goal is still 2,000 subs by January 1st. So help a poor boy out. Till next time.
News from the table in the rolling waves. Dice in our hand, we're the dungeon's brave. Adventures tonight with our mighty team. Heroes